Or are you just a messenger?
That is, I'm the messenger for that one.
Okay. But
Now-
is this a sentiment you share?
I'm sorry?
Is this a sentiment you share?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you're also opposing this variance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not so much the variance, except that Derek had a trailer, a shed on a trailer for months and months and months. I went up there the other day, I paid somebody to show me where the rebars are in the ground. The shed is on my property. Now, what's gonna happen when Derek puts everything in the shed and it starts getting full? Is he gonna put it on the side of his house, or is he gonna put it on my side? So now, all this stuff is going to be on my property, plus the shed.
How did it happen in the first place that...
I'm sorry?
How did it happen in the first place that the applicant's shed is on your property? How did that happen?
It's on my property because Angelo, the first person to put the trailer on, got approval. I'm not saying that he has to move his trailer. That's not what we're saying. Then Angelo died, moved and died, and Thelma got the trailer next. His mother went to the hospital while Thelma was in there and asked to buy the trailer, which is fine. That's fine. But they asked me if I would sell my property, and I told them no, for a simple reason. If they bought this property, they had to buy the property on the other side, and I'm afraid of my water if he puts a bigger house, because he's up and my well is lower, and I'm afraid that the septic will come into the house.
So it's a septic issue?
No, it's the shed. It's him putting in a bigger house. How is he going to put in a bigger house?
Well, wait, hold on one second. Are you adding any additional bedrooms to this structure?
No, it's a 3-bedroom trailer. I'm just taking, bringing it 12 feet this way and 4 feet out towards my driveway.
Okay. Okay, so you're not adding any bedrooms.
I'm
So
not
your water,
adding-
as far as you're concerned, your water use will be exactly the same as.
It's going to be the same exact way.
And his water is on my property also.
Okay, that's a separate issue. That we can't.
Right.
That's not something we can legislate.
When you say
And one thing we could possibly do is if this variance were to be granted, it could be part of the granting of that variance that if you do have a shed that's on this lady's property, that
Technically, the shed that I have that she's seen that she says is on her property is actually on state property.
Well,
I had taken out the trailer and set it there until I can get it moved over behind my garage,
Okay.
which is on state property, because the state property, as they know, is 10 feet from the beginning of I looked at something, I think it's 10 feet or 14 feet from, or 20 feet from one side of the front of the house, the trailer. The state owns quite a bit.
This is the right way for the highway?
Yes,
Okay.
that's where the shed is sitting right now, on the right way to the highway.
Okay. Yes.
Do you see my drawings that I gave you?
It's down there, yep.
Oh, here's the
Okay,
shed.
here's the shed. Now, when we went up there to look for the rebar, we couldn't find it. It's under the shed.
Mhm.
So why would my rebar be that close to the road and under the shed? He has all this other property. I'm not complaining about the trailer.
Okay.
I'm complaining about the shed.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So
his
the
mother
trailer's
called,
okay. The trailer's okay, there's no, you have no.
the trailer is 3 feet from my property, but there's nothing can be done.
And he's-
It's been there for years.
He's gonna stay there, okay. Not
Exactly.
changing, okay, so the issue's the shed, not the trailer.
But his mother called me and said, Derek wants to put a big house there, a double house there, module or whatever you want to call it. And they asked me if I would sell my property so they could put this house on. And I said no. Now all of a sudden,
One side.
it's...
All of a sudden what? He's putting a trailer on the same footprint that's slightly larger.
That, he just told us that, but when his mother called me and he came down to my house, that's not what he said.
Okay, but we're not ruling on hearsay. We're ruling on the facts before us.
All right.
So the issue,
All right. In order to issue a building permit for new construction, does the zoning require a stamp survey by a design professional showing relationship to property lines? This is needed to ensure that whatever the board allows to happen is within the required zoning setbacks and solely on the applicant's property.
Is that from the town of Shandaken code? Where is that from?
She wrote that.
What's that?
She wrote that.
Oh,
She's asking
okay, yeah.
you.
We don't have a requirement that states that.
Due diligence would require, since it's down to this distance, that it's a small lot, especially at least that one line should be surveyed.
Well, we haven't required that before. We've never did and sometimes
Well, no,
do require it.
you're not gonna require it, but she's relatively accurate from the building standpoint. I mean, you granted, if you wanna look at it, you granted that variance for, Matt Rickdell to replace his house.
Right.
Well, Don's gonna have to go out and survey where the house is gonna go because of the variances that were issued.
Right.
So if you issue a variance for 4 feet from the property line, how are we gonna know if it's 4 feet from the property line if we don't have that property line surveyed?
Well, basically, the way we've always done is taking someone's word. Now that, in a lot of townships, they say, no, you have to have, every application has to have a stamp survey, but that's not our
This is in front of my
policy.
house, this is
For certain,
my
for certain
property,
things.
this is
For this
my,
one here, though,
this is
I'll
my
do it.
property and this.
what is this?
This is New 28.
Oh, okay.
I call it New 28.
Right.
This is Derek's property. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm saying it right. Because I marked it on my paper. Derek is 22-1.
Okay.
This is Harry, whose letter I wrote. This is my property, this is my property, this. Now, how is he going to put a trailer this way? That's why I complained.
Oh, but he said it was in the same.
I understand that tonight, but when,
When you heard from his mother.
It's not sitting.
well, his mother, that's what she said. And I never got a letter, certified letter. And I'm the one whose property it's next to. But if you see, this is where,
This is lot, is this?
this is this. And this is where the shed is right
Okay,
there.
all right.
And his trailer. I understand the trailer's been there for years.
That's a mobile home.
I understand, that's a law.
that's a
I
mobile home
understand
for a
that.
mobile home, same size. Take a
Excuse
mobile
me?
home out, put a modular back, that law's going.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, they say we're getting well, too well.
Yeah, no, once you change the type of the structure, yeah, the mobile home is nowhere in the code does it state that you can't take out one and replace it with exactly the same, in the exact same footprint. That's fine. Or you can actually go smaller. But once you
This
switch
is
from
3
one
feet from my
manufactured
property.
house to different manufactured type
Right.
house,
If
then
he-
What he's saying is that wouldn't change.
No, if it's the same exact trailer.
Right.
But they didn't want the trailer because the trailer
So he's-
rots too fast.
He's only
They
requesting the
wanted a
2%
house.
variance, that's what we're looking at now?
well, no,
That's what I
And
was.
the size
it's
of
a
it?
2% increase over what you currently have.
Yes.
Now, if you want to look at the total, it's 20.
Okay, what about the front yard setback?
Front yard is required
So
50,
these
the
are
proposed is
there.
10, so it's a 40
And
foot variance.
there's this
So
paper,
he is
But
requesting.
are you talking from your property line or are you talking from the right of way?
I'm
The
talking from
letter
the
from
state property line,
Harry.
state right away.
Well,
Okay.
I don't,
You
I
have-
don't
We
know,
have,
you have,
What
okay,
is
so
it?
that,
you get the
and then there's
property,
another one
your
missing.
property line
This
is
one
going to be
here.
at the state right of way. The state right of way may go through your property.
You have this one?
okay.
Yeah, we got it.
See,
Oh,
Yeah, that's why it behooves us
This
to.
gentleman has it.
okay. I didn't see that.
That's, well,
I just drew it like it was on the zoning map.
Can I ask a question? Do I have the right dimensions? Last month Mary was here and she gave us dimensions.
Dimensions 24 by 48.
That's the new one,
That's the new one.
going from a 20 by 60, right?
20 by
Okay.
63.
Oh,
There's not that much.
it was from 1,148 square feet to 1,152 square feet.
2% increase, right?
2% increase in size, but if you're looking at the variance, because the property size, due to the fact it's only 0.22 acres, is 9,583 square feet. So you're only allowed 10% coverage of 958 square feet, but you're gonna put a total of 1,152. So that's a 20% increase in what you would.
Okay.
So the 2%, 20% is, it's already at 18% over.
Okay.
So you're just adding another 2%.
So to be clear, is your main objection the size of the structure that he wants to place, or the placement of the shed?
It's both.
Okay.
His mother told me it was going to be, what does it say on Harry's?
Well, I'll get to that one. Yes, sir.
Let me be clear. So we're looking at the percentage, we're looking at the side yard, which is 4 feet, and we're also looking at the 50 feet from the state's right.
That's what we were
Three
told.
variances here, is that correct?
A wide,
Let me make sure
a
we're
double
understanding.
wide
We're looking for
mobile
a side
home
yard setback
is
variance,
not a trailer.
front yard setback variance, and a
Double
coverage.
And the
wide.
den.
The density coverage. I call the coverage.
So it's not a double wide now?
Yeah, okay.
No.
Okay.
Front side
Did I go sit down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Front side and
Thank you for your
coverage
time.
structure, huge.
Right now, he's still trying to, it's got a double wide.
Presently.
He said it's 20 by 60.
Yeah, and then it's got 24.
it's not really listed here anymore.
60, so there's gonna be 24 by 48, it's only 4 feet wide.
A trailer.
Uh,
By 60.
Because I don't think here it says it's
20 by 60.
There's no really place on there where it states the specific variance.
Double wide, which is the same structure, right?
Yeah.
Are we doing a double wide or are we doing a modular?
But, I mean, is it a double
Are
wide?
we doing a double wide or modular?
What, that I put on there?
Yeah.
Modular.
So we just, that's what I thought you would say. I want to make sure. Now you just changed the whole criteria as far as what Keith was referencing, the mobile home.
Okay.
So, because you have to do the mobile home and it have to be the exact same size. But once you trigger the modular.
So the referral that got sent out to county did reflect the 3 variances that were requested?
I sent them the application.
Okay. Because I can't tell from the original variance applications that there are 3 variances that were given.
They addressed the lot coverage. They refer,
Yeah, no setbacks. The county's recommendation is no reference to setbacks, so. This condition only requires a variance for increasing the land coverage. So. I think at least they should go back to county and have them review the side yard setbacks and the front yard setback on the highway.
Well, we should-
Yeah.
should do an amended,
What's,
do an amended application.
I sent them both of the applications, the new one and the old one.
I don't think it requested on the application, side yard and front yard.
It does on the new one.
well, this, we sent them the new one. I don't know if you've reviewed, this is our new variance application that we have not instituted yet. As you can see, we'll make things a lot clearer in the future. I sent that, I'll check with county, but if I sent that to county, if they can't see what the variances requested are on that, then I'm gonna have to go down there and tell you in person.
This is what you sent them?
That and the one.
We sent the original application, and we sent that, which shows what the requirements are for the variance, what the requirement setbacks are, what the requested setbacks are, and what variances they're asking.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing they reference is the 2% increase on their response. So. You should send it back to them with a note saying, please respond to the setback variance request also.
Does the area, the increased area, force a setback variance?
No, I mean, just the existing, just from his map, that's what determined that. He's only 4 feet on a side yard, and he's only 10 feet at the shallowest from we believe, from the state right away, I'm not sure. Did you get that sorted out as to where you measured from your front yard setback?
I took it off the zoning map.
Yeah, it should be, 50 feet from the 100-foot right of way, so 50 feet from the center line.
It varies. I'm gonna have to contact DOT.
Okay.
In front of, a prime example, in front of the Copperwood, 35 feet from the center line of the road. So I gotta give him a tax map, parcel number, and they'll contact me back and tell me exactly what it is, and I'll have them tell me, give me the center line of the road. But that only tells me the right of way. So I gotta look at the deeded right of way versus property lines. The tax viewer is sometimes inaccurate.
It's theoretically supposed to be measured from the right of way, edge of the right of way.
In some places though, the property line goes to the edge of the road, the right of way goes into the property. So if you're measuring the setback from the property line,
Yeah, but we're mostly concerned about the setback from the right of way because they have the right to do what they need on the
What
right of way.
what you do in that case is you add the right of way, you add the width of the right of way to the offset.
but if you've got 50 feet, if you've got a 50-foot setback, front setback, and his property line runs to the road, there it is, he's not in the right of way. But if the right of way is 50 feet, yeah, then you don't want to be set in the right of way. You can understand, that's why I need to find out what their right of way is. But the variance would be from his property line. As long as he's not in the right of way. We can't grant a variance in the right of way.
Well, I don't think on 28 any of it would go out of, 28, my understanding is all deeded right of way. I don't think there's any,
Okay.
I don't think there's any property lines that go, that extend out into the right of way, but a lot of this, we have a lot of places on 28, the old original 28, where the property lines went to the center of the road. And then you had to measure the width of the right of way and add that to the offset.
I'm thinking hypothetically, say the right of way there is 40 feet from roadside. His property line runs to the roadside. He needs
Well,
50 feet.
28 is funny,
It changes, but if he's got if they have a 40-foot right of way from the road edge, and he has a 50-foot, and his property line is the road edge, he could still ask for a 10-foot variance, not being the right of way, but still in his front setback. That's why we need the. That's what I'm getting at. So we'll look and see what their right of way is and where we can find the property. And I'll contact county and see why. I mean, we sent them the applications. I don't know.
How close are they?
Now, do you, for everybody's information, you want an amended application so that there isn't a misunderstanding?
No, we have the right
Ask for all three.
About the variance request.
Well, I got the variance requests. That I know. Because from the original, I did transfer what his proposed were onto that sheet, which lists what the requirements are, and it also lists what they're actually asking for. That was never, it's, you know, it says on here, dimension, it's proposed building setback, front, 10 feet. But what's the requirement? So we've always been relying on county to figure that out.
Yeah.
And I never understood it, so this is our first delve into it. So we'll be, yeah, we're gonna update this to.
Yeah, for what it's worth, on the application should say we are requesting, you know, this variance, that variance.
That was it.
I know, but I'm saying it would make it a whole lot clearer if it's simply stated, you know, a 15-foot front yard setback, a 3-foot side yard setback, you know, whatever they
Attack on
are.
these one at a time.
Okay.
So
on the list.
Is the position of the shed at issue when we're discussing?
No.
Really,
That's a different zoning issue.
yeah, that's
That can be addressed.
neighbor to neighbor.
Well, no, it's an accessory use.
Most of it
Should be.
Well, it can't be in, the accessory structure can't be in neighbor's property.
Right, should be.
If it's in
10
the
feet
required
from your
setback,
property.
well, if it's in the required setbacks, it has a certain criteria then.
Yeah,
And you can't be
It's
encroaching.
not a permanent shed.
it doesn't matter.
We're looking at temporary structures as,
Okay.
Yeah.
as temporary structures. That can be-
That's the least of our worries.
Okay.
They
Okay.
can be closer to the line without variances, but they can't be on the line or over the line.
Yeah, we
Can't grant those.
we can't give somebody permission to use somebody else's property.
I would prefer we didn't. Thank you.
So-
If we could.
So pending further information, I'd make a motion that we keep the public hearing open and then put this on the agenda for next month.
I second that.
For the purpose of getting more information from the county?
The county as well as,
County and DOT.
It should be monumented, you should be able to find little.
I'm hoping that they're gonna do what they did down below, because they're gonna do the bridge in Big Indian. They went through and marked everything to make sure everything is accurate.
Yeah.
That could be whenever.
There's,
Should be concrete monuments, yes.
So do we need the public hearing?
yes, I said leave it open, yeah, yeah.
I need a roll call.
Yes.
Yeah, because we closed the public hearing late, 50 days.
Yes.
There's 60
Board
days.
Member Johnson?
Yes.
Board Member Reese?
Yes.
Board Member Lodi?
Yes.
Board Member Guglielmi?
Yes.
So So it's not that the
I mean,
application is mechanical in the realm of
We have that.
public hearing.
Modification.
No, which is that they haven't, they didn't address it. So he said he would be a TS waiver to make accurate determination as to what kinds of setbacks.
I want to make sure the county knows what they're looking at.
Yeah. Okay, so you understand what's happened here, or?
Yeah, I understand. They've got a review from the county and the state to see where the lines are and
So get all the
Ducks in order.
I's dotted and the T's crossed.
So, Mr. Chuck, how does it happen that along Route 28, the right-of-way varies? How did that-
Because it's the state. When I called and I said, I called, Dave Corrigan, who does all of this mapping and all. I called him, I said, I'd like to know what the right of way is at 28. He says, where? I said, what do you mean where? He goes, well, in some places it's 35, in some places it's 120. Okay. I mean, in front of the Emerson, it's 60. So I don't know how or where or when that came along. You know, you can't, town roads is relatively simple. You know, roadway 24.75 feet, you can deal with that unless Eric says it's deep. But yeah, and then he proceeded to send me maps. I'm not even going to forward the maps to you because they never update them. They just add stuff to them in their scribble, and then it's all their culverts, and then you have no idea what. Maybe Keith could read them, but I shouldn't be able to.
Okay.
Well, there's places like when they read, they're very 250 feet.
Well, yeah, you got down there, well, like where the park. That's all state. So.
Is there anything else on the agenda? Nope. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second that?
No need for roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
That's a record. 8:30.
Yeah. Yes, it's, well, it tells you what to throw out, what to replace. Remove this and you insert this. Thank you.
No.
You want to ask George? You go right ahead.
She specifically said,
Bring your books and
she actually specifically said that you were going to ask about that.
a property that's.
Well, I don't know about the
She
whole.
said,
Now, I'm giving you my book, so I give you the book.
I took it to she was sharing. And his mother said it's going to be a bigger house.
because you're missing something.
Because I'm missing the section on trash, and Joyce said that you could her, she would do it, and then they would have a meeting and decide what they're going to do. And if they had it, you
You should just, well, I would tell you to say you lost. It seems to me like people just become alarmed at any change.
We had somebody come in.
I have extra copies.
go online. Well, the computer. No, I will call him.
Tell him that this is over.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's avoiding the, because,
Oh, because I thought so too, but there's other, you had other issues.
let's see that guy.
Okay. I will call him.
If you're done, you might want to.
Yep.
Yeah, you consider what open porch is and everything else done here?
All right.
Yeah, you get some color too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where were we catching fish?
Know somebody who can. All right, yeah, see ya.
You like here?
Good night. But yeah, I don't think
No, MJ's walked down there to towards the chimney home.
She also told him to come out to the.
no, these people were just world-class farmers.
He and Derek did the town work with me.
Oh, you know what? Because I was gone, I was in Florida.
He went to the town work meeting.
They told me when they